thank you very much for coming along tonight. As you don't know me, and there are a few, I'm Mike Williams, I'm station manager for Fresh FM, and it's the idea of tonight was really just to bring Vox Radio to your attention, and we're doing that also through emails, of course, and lots of other publicity that we've got planned over the next little while. And for those who don't know what Vox Radio is or where it's come from, and I suspect most of you do, we started about 5 or 6 years ago with a radio drama competition that sort of came from the idea of my predecessor, John Bullock, who was missing something in his life, I think, from his childhood, because he stopped me in the street one day and said, "What do you think about a radio competition for writers for radio drama?" And I thought at the time, it's a bit off the wall, but heck, it could work. And from that, the very first series of, the first competition was run in 2003, and it was highly successful, and we've done it annually since then as the National Radio Drama Competition run by Fresh FM. So this year we thought it was time to give it a look and a description that was more befitting what it is, because it's not just about radio drama, it's about audio theatre. So that's the description we've now given it, and we gave it the name Vox Radio because that literally means voices on the radio. And it can be as dramatic as you like, in any form that you like. It can involve dramas, plays with characters and plots as you would expect. It can also involve poetry, monologues, verse, prose. Anything that your imagination can dream up that we can perform in front of a microphone is what Vox Radio has given it a different structure in the background as well. There are a lot of people who have worked very hard on the radio drama competitions in the past, notably Kim Merry, who has had often the task of doing a lot of the work himself, with communicating with writers, taking entries as they've come in, culling them down for the judges, and then organising the actual recording nights. And so Fresh FM now, is in association with the Independent Theatre, has a new venue for recording. We also have the expertise of people like Rachel Chapman, who is helping us with the marketing and promotion. And Gray's expertise as a director and theatre practitioner is going to be available to us as well. There's an awful lot of information online at freshfm.net. We've developed a page which has got all of the necessary forms and information that you'll need to take part and to give yourself a background on what it's all about. I'm also here this evening, of course, to answer any questions that you may have, if you have them, about the finer points of what's involved in being part of Vox Radio for 2008. We certainly hope that you'll help spread the word to people you know who may be keen to take part, either as writers or even perhaps just coming along to view the final recordings, which will be happening in November. Right now, I'd like to just hand over to Gray for a couple of seconds so that he can tell you a bit more about Independent's involvement with Vox Radio. We've also got a little bit of entertainment lined up for you a little later too with Sally. She's going to perform one of the pieces that was last year.
Privileged to be a part of Vox Radio this year, and we hope that yes, you will spread the word on what is happening with this year's competition and the planned season that we're planning for November this year. Now, it is quite an extended process, the audio theatre competition, and it involves application, entry of scripts, assessment of scripts, and then the finalists and winners get to have their shows cast. And I'm really looking forward to that part, because that means I get to work with actors and performers to realise the visions of the writers. The exciting part of involving the independent theatre really is that we can add a massive visual element to the radio drama for the live performances. I'm really looking forward to getting the performers on the stage of the Independent and really realising a much fuller, greater vision for this year's Vox Radio competition. Feel very privileged to be a part of it, and I hope that you'll all come and support it as it develops and grows through the year towards the shows that are planned in November.
Several categories in the competition. The first one is a junior one, which is basically for primary school kids, and the second one is intermediate, which encompasses all the other ages through to secondary school. And then the open category is for anyone to enter, and we've opened it also for writers anywhere in the country at the moment who are resident in New Zealand at the time they put their entry in. And this year we're also developing the open section to include a special award for non-drama, which is monologues or verse or prose of some sort, which doesn't normally require a cast and a plot and that sort of thing. So we're trying to ensure that whatever your creative bent, you've got some means of getting it out there. One of the winners from last year was an entry like that, actually. And Sally's going to perform that for us now, live and in colour.
Under Mutton Bird Scrub, with apologies to Dylan Thomas by Leslie Smith. To begin at the beginning, the moon slows on the old, cold doorstep, the floor step of run-down Campbelltown. There are footprints on the snowgrass. The tussocky, hummocky scrub cover is minted with limpid light, lucid, pellucid, star-bright lunar light, as quiet as bone marrow in the dead of night. Then the titi fetches from its earth-bound burrow down, with stiff wing stretches and hooked beak scratches. And young Rewi reaches deep down underground with his stomachy scrawn to pluck from earth's pocket, to dislodge wing from socket, to stuff sheer water fluff into his buckets, his kelp-bound baskets, till waxing is ready to be done in day's skinny, thin, hollow dawn, ready to melt morning's feathered yawn. And then, to the day's first feast of barbecued beast, a heated pan-fried treat, heart of the titi, the tiniest dart. From burrow to skillet, this minuscule fillet lands on the breakfast fire of bracken and tuft, a leaf litter pyre, a peat mat fat spot where Rewi squats on the boggy land, a gritty, grumbly, lard-splattered mud band, an unholy, unhealthy hearth for a boy afeared of bloody Jack's art. And Tana Nyana lies in her bed under crochet and knit, licking at her lips as her stiffened fingers click, stippled and dripping with old age spittle. She's a caged cold cripple in a bone bag, brittle and crumbling in a sackcloth skin, thin as the alpine wind here in Campbelltown Fair. She dreams of hearts of titi, bare-breasted Marys, martyrs and saints. And Araha, from her upstairs window, watches the moon spoon its glossop, its honeyed hue, like wax or glue, into a dusky, eely stew. It's her only leaven in a kumara bread, rising with a wrinkled sigh, bell ringing, then sinking with a well-meaning, doughy inkling of sooty bird's flower-white underwing on its maiden flight to mark this island of convolvulus, its sand-hill handles and brine-swamped sandals. Locked lilac flapper feet and melting eye-brown, boggy-brown peepers, all power and cockle-shine, picked clean in time by our tamariki. What they stole on wood patrol from the mutton bird's earth holes, they sealed with moist, muddy, putty puru pots. In her mind's eye, Araha sees the squeezed crops, the blood-gutted, life-scuppered, wax-whipped, salted and exalted delicacies dipped. A sad southern truth for a sapling newborn nipper of a girl who loves all beasts, all burdens. Tana Nyana's snores shift like silver fern spores on whispering shores, snuffing lanterns, muffling the feather-stopped titi cries, while Rewi meekly rock hops, mutely rabbit jumps, stops, with his bag slung, with clean scrubbed, lean waxed, wingless, footless titi young. And Araha lifts her heart, her tiny titi heart, to the moon-low, sun-hungry sky, and over her nana's unfurling sigh, Araha's winged cry, why kill the titi god? Why?